Good evening, everyone. Today is June 5th, 2023, and we have three separate meetings today. We have a special meeting that's marked special meeting number 1. After that, we have a work session. After that work session, we have another meeting marked special meeting number 2. So at this time, I will call special meeting number 1 to order. And just a brief announcement, just in case that there's an emergency. We ask that everybody please remain calm, exit out this door, take a right, go down the stairs. If that way is blocked, take a left, go around the corner, go down those stairs. In the event that if there would be an emergency, hopefully not, please do not use the elevator. If you need assistance, we will just ask, and Andy Kitzrow, our city administrator, as always, will carry you out on his back if need be.
Right.
All right. First item on special meeting number 1 is a proclamation by Mayor Jack Heath. Mayor Heath.
Thank you, Mr. President. Peter, could you come up here and join me? I have a proclamation. Whereas the city of Salisbury, Maryland, with great admiration and respect, honors Lieutenant Peter Tyler on the occasion of his retirement after a distinguished 30 years of dedicated law enforcement service as a respected member of the Salisbury City Police Department. And it is appropriate to acknowledge this outstanding career achievement. And whereas in 1964, Peter Lloyd Tyler's story began in New York City, where he was born, and he went on to graduate from Easton High School in 1982, when his sense of responsibility and service to others led him to pursue a criminal law degree at Chesapeake College, where he received an Associate Arts 2 years later. And whereas Pete began his law enforcement career with the Salisbury Police Department on August 21st, 1993. And whereas during his career, he served within the Operations Division, rising through the ranks, ultimately serving as police lieutenant, where he mentored and developed less experienced officers and supervisors in accordance with the Salisbury City Police Department mission. And whereas he has served as field training officer and earned positions on the police department's tactical unit and community action team. And whereas in addition to his dedication of service to the citizens of Salisbury and his fellow employees, Pete will always be remembered for his operational acuity and reliability. And whereas Pete took an oath of office to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution, an oath he never broke while keeping the faith with the public he so honorably served for 30 years. And whereas during his 30-year career in the Salisbury Police Department, Lieutenant Tyler is commended for earning a meritorious award, 2 exceptional duty awards, 1 distinguished service award, 1 educational award, 1 military service award, 9 commendations, 3 unit citations, 1 honorable service award, 4 certificates of appreciation, and numerous letters of appreciation. And whereas the city of Salisbury would like to honor Lieutenant Tyler's outstanding dedication, expertise, and service to the Salisbury Police Department, and he will be sorely missed upon his retirement on May 30th, 2023. Now therefore, I, John R. Heath, Mayor of the City of Salisbury, do hereby proclaim May 30th, 2023 as Peter Lloyd Tyler Day in our city, in recognition and celebration of 30 years of dedicated service to our community as a career police officer. With gratitude and appreciation for his leadership, passion for seeking justice for victims, upholding the laws of the United States of America, the state of Maryland, and the city of Salisbury, with the sincerest best wishes for an enjoyable and well-deserved retirement.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Congratulations. All right, next up, I will entertain a motion to adopt the legislative agenda.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. All right, so we will have 3 public hearings that we moved to this date. This is the second round of public hearings surrounding our budget. The first public hearing will be about the constant yield tax rate. And I would like to entertain a motion to, well, first, before I say that, the way that this will work, this is a public hearing. So anyone who is a citizen, anyone who owns a business in this community, or other members of staff that, I don't know if staff does it in a public hearing. No, this is a public hearing. So this is for the public. So you would be sworn in to provide testimony. If you have documents that you would like to submit as evidence, you may do that as well. But this is a public hearing for the public to make comments. Just to remind everyone at the table, we do not respond to the comments. We take the comments, we add them to the record, and we consider them. I don't like hearing myself twice. We will consider this as the final approval of the budget will come up for vote next Monday. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number.
We don't need that.
No, we don't. Do I just open the public hearing?
We approved the agenda, so.
Oh, okay. All right. So at this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Boucher to present the constant yield tax rate.
Certainly. Good afternoon, everyone. The City of Salisbury notice of a proposed real property tax increase. The Mayor and City Council of the City of Salisbury proposes to increase real property taxes. For the tax year beginning July 1, 2023, the estimated real property assessable base will increase by 3% from $2,185,756,858 to $2,251,221,151. If the City of Salisbury maintains the current tax rate of .9832 per $100 of assessment, real property tax revenues will increase by 3%, resulting in $643,645 of new real property tax revenues. In order to fully offset the effect of increasing assessments, the real property tax rate should be reduced to .9546, the constant yield tax rate. The City of Salisbury is considering not reducing its real property tax rate enough to fully offset increasing assessments. The city proposes to adopt a real property tax rate of $1.0332 per $100 of assessment. This tax rate is 8.23% higher than the constant yield tax rate and will generate $1,769,256 in additional property tax revenues. A public hearing on the proposed real property tax rate increase will be held, currently, right now, in the council rooms. This hearing is open to the public, and public testimony is encouraged.
All right, so at this time, I will open the public hearing. Anyone that wishes to speak, our city clerk will swear you in for your testimony.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth? Yes. Thank you.
So, saw how we had 5, 6 people raise their hands. So we'll start with Mr. Taylor. Would you like to go first?
I'm encouraged to speak.
Hi, Robert Taylor, Salisbury resident and taxpayer for almost 54 years. My normal mantra. We obviously have to raise the tax rate. I will just say, by way of background, this whole constant yield thing is just a gimmick devised by the state legislature some years ago to, I don't know why, but to impress people that if we didn't raise the tax rate, constant yield, in other words, it would generate so much money. But we've got to. There's just no two ways about it. The city's in a hole. It's dug itself in. I hope it stops digging. That's another matter, of course. But we've got to raise it. We started off this year a proposed budget with an almost $5.5 million illegal fee that has been struck out after objection, and we are where we are. So I just want to make those comments and just hope you the best of luck. But we're going to be raising taxes this year, and my gut reaction is it's going to be for the next few years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Ms. Nichols, since we have everyone sworn in, do we have to swear them in for each hearing?
No,
Or just-
no, not unless we.
Because if they want to speak on another item, they may speak on another item. All right, next up. Thank you. Right up to the, oh.
I'm Kate Gibson, a citizen of Salisbury and a very senior citizen. I have some problems with constantly increasing the cost to your citizens. I can't go to the federal and state government and pull them over the barrel and say, give me more money. They won't do it. But you can come to me and say, give me more money, or I'll take your house. I feel like I'm being blackmailed. I think there is some ways, some fluff in this budget that we need to go back to providing basic services for all the citizens, not focus primarily on downtown with the rest of the city suffering. This arts and entertainment district is costing us a fortune. It certainly doesn't benefit me. It doesn't fix the potholes or the roughness in the road in front of my house. I don't like to see the police department cut on the cars. I think there are other places to cut. I think we need to look at whether we need a festival. I think we need to look at whether we need the little parks in every single area. And the cost to maintain them, it's not the parks, it's not the equipment, it's the constant maintenance. I think there's a lot of fluff. There's the second item with the development in the mayor's office, and I don't understand what that's about. But I think you need to look very hard at what are the essential services you as a city need to provide, which all citizens are willing to pay for, and what are the things the city are doing for fluff. It's nice to see all the awards on your page, but they don't mean anything to me. Now, I have to make up my mind where I can find the money. I mean, I don't go out. Entertainment went. Food prices you can't change, and I feel very sorry for people with teenagers that are trying to keep them fed. Clothing I don't have to buy. I picked up 2 meds today. My copay was $90. So there are things I can't give up, and I'm asking you to give up the things in the city that are maybe the little goodies and fluff, not really necessary to providing health safety for your citizens. I have to give them up. I can't buy a new pair of shoes. I went to my grandson's graduation. The glue on the soles of the shoes I was going to wear were so old that my soles and the shoes came off. I'm wearing clothes that are 20 years old. My fluff out of my life is gone. I may have to stop paying fire and homeowners insurance on my house because I've got to come up for money for you, and I don't know how else to do it. And I'm not the only senior sitting in the city of Salisbury with the same issues. A lot of them didn't know about this meeting. The meeting was an off day and an off time. But your citizens are not all well-to-do. If this means rent goes up, this affects everyone living within the city of Salisbury. Please, do what we have to do and get rid of the fluff.
Thank you, Kay.
Hello, my name's Paula Donalds. I spoke before. I'm up here tonight with my checkbook. I spoke before in May, and I told you that I was on a fixed income. Majority of these people are retired, starting out in their careers, don't have it yet. Mayor Heath, here's my checkbook. Budget my checkbook. Tell me where I'm gonna come up with the money. City council members, here's my checkbook. Tell me where I'm gonna come up with the extra money. I'm retired. I'm on a fixed income. I wanna keep up my health. I wanna keep up my eyesight. I wanna keep up my teeth. I wanna keep up my homeowner's insurance. I wanna keep up everything that keeps going up and up and up. I have to cancel my dentist appointments. I have to cancel doctor's appointments. I have to decide which medication I can get per month. Oddly enough, we got the water bill today. Did you all get the water bill? I don't spend $172 a month in my water bill, and I'm a single person. With all respect, find it someplace else. Lawyer Taylor, I'm sorry, is that your last name, Mr. Taylor?
Yes, ma'am.
You're right. The city has dug themselves in a hole, and they have to keep coming to us to get them out of the hole. Please, take my checkbook. Tell me where I'm gonna get the money. And that's with all respect. I'm not saying that to be combative or anything. Seriously, here it is. Sit down with me. I sit down. I'm a responsible person, and I pay my bills. But now I have to cancel things. I flew for 31 years, and I get free airfare, and I can't go anywhere. It don't make sense. Not too long ago, City Council praised themselves for getting grants. I agree, grants are great. Until the work is done, and then the grants go away, the work is here, and then that all goes to, forgive my language, hell. Because nobody can keep up with it. And then you got to reach out to your citizens in the city and remind everyone we're double taxed, city and county. I brought the checkbook tonight, hoping that maybe you all can sit down with me and look over my finances. Because apparently the city doesn't know how to run their finances. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you for the opportunity to comment on the 2024 and thereafter budget. My name's Nancy Roysam, and I live here in Salisbury. Downtown investors getting let off from paying millions of dollars in taxes, drastically underpriced sales of city government land, and free leasing of the city marina are examples of what continues to drain city assets and remove millions from our tax base. This approach should be reduced or stopped quickly. If not, In my opinion, our city may have to declare bankruptcy and be absorbed into the county at the rate we're going. May not be a bad idea. Per the census, 1 out of 4 Salisburyans are below poverty level. So the other 75% and businesses are bankrolling the city of Salisbury. But not any developers who build in downtown Salisbury. They get to avoid paying, I've heard, upwards of $40 million in taxes and more over the years. On the other hand, our property taxes are now proposed to go up by 5%. That would put this city as one of the highest taxed municipalities in Maryland, and Maryland already has one of the highest property tax rates in the nation. On the other hand, well, please, city leaders, be reminded that our property tax assessments increased an average of 25% recently, so we already are paying 25% more taxes than 3 years ago. Do you read The Independent? Did you see the 7-page list? Hundreds of people who haven't been able to pay their property taxes. That should tell you something. And the big developer freebie is not in our city's low-income areas. It's only in downtown. So the less fortunate neighborhoods won't benefit directly. We need to fund our city employees well and provide good quality maintenance of what nice things this city already offers. Cut out new costly to maintain construction projects like a parking garage. We really can have a nice place here with low skyline, open views of waterway activities at Maryland's second largest port city. Amazing flora and fauna already located downtown or very nearby. It's unwise for a small, isolated peninsula town like Salisbury, Maryland, to try to follow mainland metropolitan urban planning goals, especially theories like build more housing so we can have more people to build a bigger tax base. Might work some places, but that's very risky here. The resources and transportation network for adding thousands more jobs needed for these new people just ain't here. So why are we focusing on building 6,000 more housing units? Let's accept our Mid-Delmarva, land of pleasant living, and keep it the way it is and affordable. It's really okay not to have urban sprawl and traffic congestion and long lines at restaurants and supermarkets. That and a low cost of living is what's going to attract newcomers and keep people here. Please, city planners and leaders, keep your goals manageable. Take a few steps back and smaller steps forward. Be flexible, pivot, and don't fear the challenge of keeping your citizens informed. None of us is as smart as all of us. Let's get this right.
Thank you.
Was there one other? Did she swear you in? Okay,
Amir, we have one person online. Alex would like to say something.
okay. You go ahead.
Somebody online.
Usually it's good evening, but right now it's good afternoon. My name is Lynn Bratton. I live at 303 South Boulevard in Salisbury, Maryland, and have since the mid-'70s. I'm a property owner of multiple properties, again, in the city of Salisbury. I pay a lot of city taxes. Also, as she mentioned, I pay a lot of county taxes because we are double-dipped. My concern is not that we have to make tough decisions, but that those decisions are going to hurt some people. And some of those decisions are going to hurt our low-income folks if we don't do something about it. Having to come up with more money to balance a budget is the way it seems to go. But I think we need to look more at tightening our purse strings, tightening our buckles, looking at the things that are necessary and look at the things that aren't necessary. Part of the things that I think are necessary, and I 100% support them, would be your basic services, police, fire, EMS services, traffic traffic congestion devices, electricians to maintain things, and carpenters to fix what we have. I do not see as necessary pop-up events in communities to give out pencils and hot dogs. I don't see as necessary homeless care coordinators who, according to the announcement, are going to conduct street outreach among the Wycomico County unsheltered homeless population. Not just our Salisbury citizens and city residents, but into the Wycomico reaches. I do truly believe, having served as a counseling position for 37 years in the school systems, that sort of a job is the responsibility of our Wycomico County Social Services Department, not the city of Salisbury. I feel that the care of elderly, the care of adults that are in need and at risk falls on the shoulders of Wycomico Services. Not a city employee with a bachelor's degree in human service fields, i.e. social work or psychology, is preferred, or any other equivalent training. And I'm simply quoting from the job description. That job, by the way, is listed as $33,990 to $36,792. And there are 3 of those positions in the budget, if I read it correctly. Those positions also need to come with travel expenses, cars, and all the resources that would go with a position of that caliber. And they are expensive. I don't believe funding bus operators to get people from one part of our community downtown every so often so they can enjoy the amenities of downtown helps us, because my tenants, my clients, my rental clients, they can't get to work because there's no viable system of transportation other than an Uber, which most of them don't have credit cards, or the little trolley things that you stand on, the moped things. I'm sorry, that's not going to get some of my clients who are in their 40s to work. I wouldn't want to ride on one of them, and it certainly isn't something you can go to the grocery store and bring back your groceries on. So that's not the viable transportation system, even though they call it, I think, the last mile transportation system. We need a decent bus system that doesn't make you have to go a big circle and take all day to go somewhere. It needs to go back and forth. I mean, you can't go to the Walmart and come right straight back. You got to go in a big circle. And if you had ice cream, well, I guess you'd have soup by the time you got home. I don't think, as nice as they are, hiring people to run the city outreach centers are the right thing for the youth. I love the youth idea, but again, if we can't afford it, we can't afford it. Maybe we need to take a break on something, get our house in order, and then go back to all the amazing facilities that we're trying to put in place. Do we really need a splash pad downtown if nobody has a place to park to go to it? Where are we going to park when we have beautiful festivals? The city of Salisbury has no more viable parking lot structures to even sell. And I didn't see in the budget anywhere where $75,000 got it added into the budget after we got the resource from the $75,000 sale of the place where a lot of my clients go to buy things. And that was the flea market. A lot of my rental clients don't have transportation, and they would walk there on the weekends, and they would bring home cute little things for their children. They would show them to me. Think cute little things, like maybe a little toy or a little pottery item that they wanted and they had the money to get because they could walk there. Some of my other clients would go there to get a weed whacker for $20 so that they could hustle a little job or keep their own yard fixed so that we all them and me didn't end up with a citation because we had some grass in the yard that didn't get cut in the timely manner because maybe it had been raining or something. So, that was short-sighted. That place was there for 21 years, and people used it. It was a place where our community gathered in many ways, maybe not the community that you guys are all accustomed to, but it was still the community that those young people and those adults and even the children had grown up knowing it was a place to go. And maybe they'd get to bring home a little toy because mom and dad could afford it. Or maybe mom and dad had a little hustle or something that they would go down there and sell, and then you'd get to do the field trip that you wanted to go to because there was the extra $2 in the budget or the $10 that the city or the schools said you needed. Bottom line, folks, there's 19 advertised jobs on the list. I don't think we need to do anything with trying to cut our police, our basic safety, our basic needs. Those need to happen, and they need to be competitive so we can keep getting good people and we can keep them. Because the cost of training is horrible. You don't want to keep training and having them leave and go to some other community and take our training with them. That's like another big hole that you're digging yourself into. But we need to seriously look at, and it may only be 30,000 here and another 40 here, and the F-150 and an F-250 and an F-350. There's like 3 of them in the budget, all for different price points. Maybe there's a time where we need to just use the one we've got and hire a mechanic to keep them going. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a rough job. I absolutely respect every single one of you up there, and I know we've battled out many times. I call some of you up on the phone and I'm told, calm down, Lynn, it'll be all right. But I need you to hear that we gotta cut some of the fluff and stuff. It's got to cut. And we don't just need to keep funding it, because I think if I read the budget that just came out like at 1:15 this afternoon, there's actually gonna be some money pulled from our safety funds, whatever you call that, not the sinking fund, what's it called, Mr. Cordry, the extra money that like is in there, the surplus money. I believe we're pulling some money out of our surplus, which is what we use to maintain our AA ratings and to keep our good bond ratings. And it is the emergency fund. Now is not the time to be pulling it out because it could get worse and we might need it. You don't spend it until you have to. Cut out the pop-ups, cut out some of these jobs. Hold off on some of the employees that you want to hire and wait until the budget is better balanced. I submit my assistance in any way possible. I'm here to serve you also, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. I believe there was, did you make a comment? Was it? It was.
Hey there. It's my first time here. I moved to Salisbury from the San Francisco Bay Area about 5 years ago. So I wanted to just kind of watch and see how this works. I certainly hear a lot of angry people, a lot of frustrated people, and it'd be lovely if you heard them, if you heard all of us. It'd also be lovely, this is the first time I heard of the property tax being raised. I didn't feel that there was a communication. That's, I guess, my main beef here right now. But as the city grows, it's certainly challenging for all people on both sides, people that are trying to make the changes happen and the people that are trying to adjust to the changes that are happening. But there has to be a dialogue. There has to be a dialogue between everyone to keep the process going in a healthy direction. I'll be back. I'll be listening, I'll be watching, and I'll be voicing my opinion as I become more informed myself. Thank you.
Excuse me, what was your name?
Oh, my name's Christina Bacallas-Maza, citizen of Salisbury, Maryland.
Thank you. If we had somebody online.
Alex, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Okay.
If they're testifying, they need to be sworn in.
And Alex, you need to be sworn in real quick.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Alex, you have the floor.
Thank you. Hi, everyone, and thank you for taking my comments. I appreciate your hard work. My name is Alex Byle. I'm a citizen of Salisbury as well. I also a local investor, and I do have properties with low income tenants and regular income tenants, I guess you can say it. My main thing is for the property tax increase is I think last year at some point we did receive a very sizable value increase on our property, like the assessments, which you can say the value of properties are increased, everything appreciated so well because of the economy, but it's artificially inflated because the inflation and everything else, and the tax bill went up and the assessment went up, so it's a little bit are we doing double, increasing it twice now with the assessment being increased, and then also the city of Salisbury going and increasing the assessment, pretty much increasing the taxes as well. So this is my main thing about it. And in the long term, you want to have. I understand you need to have more budget, but right now I think we're going to a time where it's obscure because people don't talk about it. But we're gonna have a little hard time coming up. So I'm not sure if that's the increase in taxes is appropriate. That's one thing, but also for the budget, I'm cutting my own budget as well. It's just like I know it's coming. I know I need to tighten my belt, and it's just the way it is. So I think we should rethink this process, maybe, and give some more notices to the city, because unless I tell somebody that this is happening, most of my friends in the city don't even know about it. Like, I'm not sure how we can amplify the notice, but it's very I was surprised people didn't hear about it. And so thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And thank you for your service. Have a great night.
Thank you, Alex. So is there anyone else who wishes to speak on the public hearing on the constant yield tax rate? Yes, all right.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Brett Hopkins, 925 Eastern Shore Drive. First Lieutenant, I'm not sure who he is. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for your service. I don't want to water down any of the other statements that have been made. Everything has been going up. We personally and in business are trying to cut back, at least hold the line where we can. You have a fiduciary responsibility to steer this city to a place where we're financially viable and competitive. I think you've crossed over the line, like I said a time or two ago, where the tax rates and tax revenue that you're pulling out of the citizens and the businesses will cause harm. That's what you're hearing tonight. So I was a little bit reluctant to even come up and talk because I'm kind of a broken record, because I come at it from a macro view on how this impacts all of us, and a micro view how it impacts me as a business, me as a part-time citizen, our renters that are full-time citizens. People will feel this. Every dollar that comes out in additional revenue that's your income. That's expense to everyone else in this room, whether it's a citizen or a business. There is no free lunch. When you pull money out of the economy, and that's my argument, you've heard in the past, you've gone over the point where taxation and efficiency therein will start to hurt you on the revenue side. We talked about the Laffer curve. You can climb up that curve. The higher your taxes go, you'll get more revenue. I think you've crossed over the apex of that, and the higher you push your taxes now, revenue is actually going to start to decrease. So to become efficient as city administrators, I think you really need to look at modest increases on your taxes and fees, but really cut back on your expenses. And don't touch that surplus, because just like Alex said, we're starting to feel it on the business side, and we think we're a leading indicator that there's some tough economic times ahead, and you really need to watch it, because you need that surplus, because if you bust that, you bust your AA rating, you think you have cash flow problems now, it's gonna get really bad. And just like the first witness said, cities do go bankrupt. Don't think it can't happen. You look at the cities in California, they've had a bunch of them go bust in the last 10 years, and it gets pretty bad. And when a state or a city goes into receivership by the feds or the state, you think services are cut now, it gets really, really cut. So don't take us there. And that's what we're trying to say. Be really careful, okay? And I think that's all I want to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brett. Is there anyone else online, Andy, or?
Oh, good.
Anyone else wish to speak on the constant yield tax rate? Just so everyone knows, I counted wrong. We actually have 4 public hearings. So this is the first one. So seeing no one else wants to speak on this one, we will close the public hearing for the constant yield tax rate.